The Master's Mysteries. Tales of Magical Mastery. Episode 30. Old Dao, let me take care of your wounds. It is said that Liao Fengyi and Old Dao ran wildly together and finally found a secluded valley that seemed relatively safe. They stopped to catch their breath. Ouch. Ouch. Can't you be more gentle? Lower your voice. Don't attract enemies. Liao Fengyi quickly bandaged Old Dao's wounds. Due to the rudimentary conditions and Liao Fengyi's clumsiness, it caused Old Dao to scream in pain. Where did he go? It's Ahu. Before the two of them could catch their breath, they heard Ahu squeak, instantly making them nervous. He's up there. He's scouting nearby. Upon careful discernment, they discovered that the sound was coming from above the nearby stone wall. They immediately looked up. Let's talk about that spiritual rat, Ahu. While Liao Fengyi and Old Dao rested, he took the opportunity to observe the surrounding terrain and enemy situation. But at that moment, he suddenly felt a dangerous aura, and he saw several fierce, hungry wolves appearing around him without knowing when, staring fiercely at him. These wolves were not natural enemies in the forest. There were plenty of animals with more flesh than rats. Wolves wouldn't normally hunt rats. However, these hungry wolves were clearly after him. Before Ahu could figure out what was going on, one of the hungry wolves let out a strange howl and charged towards him. Being natural enemies, Ahu couldn't help but shiver at the sight of its sharp teeth. Ahu wasn't foolish. He wouldn't confront the hungry wolf head-on. However, he had nowhere to escape and had to turn around and jump off the cliff. What's wrong with him? He knew Liao Fengyi and Old Dao were below the cliff, so he happened to fall into Liao Fengyi's embrace. Not good. There are enemies above us. They arrived quickly. Liao Fengyi quickly understood Ahu's meaning. New enemies had appeared on the cliff above. Intruders, you're quite something. To think you killed that wooden block. Indeed, when they looked up, they saw a burly man with a bearded face standing on the cliff. He seemed like a hunter who often roamed the mountains. Ahu says that there is a group of hungry wolves approaching. As soon as this man appeared, Ahu sensed the presence of hundreds of hungry wolves in the forest. The large wolf pack was surrounding them from all sides. Hemph, what is this? We were just exploring. If we get surrounded, we're as good as dead. The two of them became anxious. However, they noticed that Old Dao was experienced in dealing with such situations and quickly devised a plan. The main force is on its way. You won't escape. Old Dao confidently claimed that they were just the vanguard, and the main force was coming to eliminate the evil cult. It's unclear whether this person had a simple mind, but he was truly deceived by Old Dao. He turned around and let out a loud and long whistle into the forest. Old Dao. Brilliant. Well, of course. As soon as the whistle sounded, Ahu immediately sensed the wolf pack retreating. They were probably waiting for the non-existent main force to attack. Liao Fengyi truly admired Old Dao's cleverness. To deal with you two is more than enough. Just a guy who relies on a dead rat for help. The other guardians couldn't see it, but this person, who also controlled animals, understood the relationship between Ahu and Liao Fengyi. However, he didn't consider the two of them a threat. Brothers, let's have a good meal. In his eyes, his wolves couldn't be compared to a mere rat. His wolf pack was the most dominant force. Old Dao, Ahu, you go ahead. I'll hold them back. With his command, one of the hungry wolves immediately leaped down the cliff and approached the two of them. Its drooling expression clearly showed that it saw them as a delicacy. As soon as Old Dao finished speaking, the ferocious wolf swiftly charged towards them. Liao Fengyi had a divine weapon in his hand and didn't take this wolf lightly. He swung his sword down, but to his surprise, he heard a crisp sound. Apparently, this wolf was extremely agile and managed to catch the sharp sword with its strong, iron-like claws. It was then that Liao Fengyi realized that the wolf had already transformed into a demon and would not be easy to deal with. Not only did this attack fail to harm the wolf, but it also sent Liao Fengyi sprawling to the ground due to its powerful impact. Liao Fengyi didn't dare to be negligent and quickly tried to stand up again. But the wolf was even more agile and didn't give him a chance. Before he could get up, it pounced on Liao Fengyi once again. Liao Fengyi reacted quickly and rolled on the ground, narrowly avoiding the wolf's attack. However, Liao Fengyi was not someone who would wait to be attacked. Using the momentum from his roll, he quickly stood up and swung his sword towards the wolf. But once again, he heard a metallic collision. This time, the wolf used its teeth to bite down on the sharp sword, and it didn't suffer any harm. Not only that, the wolf's teeth were like steel pliers. After biting down on the sword, it vigorously shook its head, its immense strength causing Liao Fengyi to lose his grip, and the sword was thrown away. All of this happened in the blink of an eye. After the sword was thrown away, the wolf immediately swiped its claw towards Liao Fengyi. If it weren't for Liao Fengyi's quick reaction and immediate crouch, he would have been severely injured. Nevertheless, even in this situation, Liao Fengyi still faced a lot of difficulties. The powerful impact knocked him down. Not willing to waste any time, Liao Fengyi endured the pain, gritted his teeth, and rolled on the ground, intending to get up. However, the wolf once again fiercely pounced on Liao Fengyi. Liao Fengyi used his legs to spring up and twisted his body, narrowly avoiding the wolf's attack. As they brushed past each other, Liao Fengyi seized the opportunity. His eyes focused on the trajectory of the wolf's leap. He struck its head with his elbow. Liao Fengyi's strike was forceful, enough to kill an ordinary animal instantly. However, after the demonized wolf landed on the ground, it shook its head a few times as if nothing happened. However, this strike did cause it pain, further arousing its beastly nature. Its eyes, shining with green light, stared ferociously at Liao Fengyi. Then a thunderous howl resounded, causing the entire valley to tremble. After the howl, the wolf swiftly pounced towards Liao Fengyi once again. But this time, its speed and strength were even greater than before. After several exchanges, Liao Fengyi understood the wolf's attack patterns and no longer panicked. He quickly threw two golden throwing darts. These were Liao Fengyi's most adept throwing darts. The two darts hit the wolf's eyes accurately, forcing it to lower its head and close its eyes to minimize the damage. Liao Fengyi had already calculated his position in advance. He took the opportunity to grab the sword he had thrown earlier. The wolf's eyes were injured, but its attack power didn't diminish. It quickly lunged at Liao Fengyi as soon as it landed on the ground. And at the same time, Liao Fengyi swung his sword towards it. With its eyes injured, the wolf couldn't see clearly, but its attack was even more ferocious. As Liao Fengyi and the wolf passed each other once again, a pitiful and tragic scream rang out. It turned out that the wolf's abdomen had been sliced open, and its intestines spilled out, accompanied by splatters of blood. The wolf fell to the ground like a torn sack, blood splattering everywhere. It died without even a whimper. So that's all you've got. Nothing special. Killing you guys with the help of a dead rat. The sight of blood also stimulated Liao Fengyi's fighting spirit. After all, this kind of battle was much more exciting than chopping wood. He raised his head and shouted towards the man on the cliff. "Dare to kill my brother. You're seeking death." The man seemed to have a deep emotional bond with these wolves. When he saw the wolf die, his teeth ground together loudly, and his face turned even darker. "Kill them. Avenge our brother." Suddenly, he roared, giving orders to the remaining 3 wolves by his side. As soon as they received the command, the 3 fierce wolves' eyes immediately emitted eerie green light. They stared fixedly at Liao Fengyi and Old Dao. Then they let out a few howls and swiftly leaped down the cliff like 3 sharp arrows. "Old Dao, let's retreat to the edge of the cliff. Don't let them surround us." we'd be trapped. This made Liao Fengyi nervous. While he wasn't afraid of the wolves, these agile and demonized wolves, especially in large numbers, would be difficult for him to handle while protecting Old Dao. In the blink of an eye, the three ferocious wolves approached the two of them. As they retreated, they kept their eyes locked on the wolves, not daring to loosen their guard. These three wolves didn't immediately pounce on them, but the scent of fresh blood in the air clearly stimulated them. The green light in their eyes became even more eerie. It seems that the current situation is truly dire. Since they entered the territory of the cult, it seems they have stepped into the gates of hell.